All right, let's be real for a second. Have you ever stared at a quadratic equation and just felt stumped? Well, today, we're going to flip that script. We're going to stop looking at it like a problem and start seeing it as a puzzle. And the best part? I'm about to hand you the complete toolbox you need to solve any of them. So, yeah, let's dive right in.
Okay, so first things first. Before we can even start to solve this puzzle, we got to know what we're looking at, right? What makes a quadratic equation? Well, a quadratic equation. What are the dead giveaways? Let's break it all down.
So here's the official definition, but don't let the fancy words scare you. It says it's a polynomial of the second degree. All that really means is that the most important piece, the star of the show, is an x squared term. That's it. That little 2 is what makes it a quadratic. And the standard form you see, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, think of that as the blueprint. Every single quadratic equation fits this pattern.
Okay, let's make this super clear with a couple of examples. On the left, you've got x squared plus 6x minus 4 equals 0. See, it fits our blueprint perfectly. You've got your x squared, your x, and your number. Classic. But now look at the one on the right. That's an imposter. See that 1 over x squared? That's technically x to the power of -2, and that breaks the rule. So the big takeaway here? The powers of x have to be nice, positive whole numbers. No fractions, no negatives.
All right, puzzle identified. We know what we're dealing with, so it's time to open up that toolbox. Let's grab our first tool. I like to call this one the clever wrench. It's a really slick, elegant method that you might know as factorization, or more specifically, splitting the middle term.
So check out how this works. You look at that middle term. In this case, it's -14x. The trick, the clever part, is to split it into 2 new pieces that work for us, which here are -15x and a positive x. Once you do that, something kind of magical happens. You can group the terms up, factor them out, and bam, it just breaks down into these 2 simple little packages. And from there, it's super easy to see your 2 solutions for x, 5 and -1/3. Seriously, when it works, it's so satisfying. It's like hearing a lock click into place.
And that's the thing about factorization. It's absolutely a clever tool for the right job. When the numbers are playing nice and they line up just so, it is, without a doubt, the fastest and cleanest way to get your answer. It's powerful. But yeah, there's a but. What happens when the numbers don't play nice? What do you do when you're staring at that middle term and the pieces of the puzzle just won't fit? When the numbers just refuse to cooperate? Well, this is where our clever wrench hits its limit. Take a look at this one. 3x squared minus 6x plus 2 equals 0. I mean, you can try all you want, but you're just not going to find 2 whole numbers that multiply to 6 and also add up to -6. It's just not possible. The method completely fails here. So, are we stuck? Is it game over? No way. It just means we need to reach back into our toolbox and pull out something with a little more oomph. It is time, my friends, to bring out the big guns, the heavy hitter, the master tool. This isn't just a wrench. This is the universal key. I'm talking, of course, about the quadratic formula. Because here's the beautiful thing. It doesn't matter how messy the equation is. It doesn't matter if the numbers are ugly or a factorization totally failed you. There is a tool that always works, every single time. And there she is, in all her glory. X equals -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. Look, I get it. It might look a little intimidating at first glance, but trust me, this formula is about to become your new best friend. It is the universal key that can unlock absolutely any quadratic equation you can find. So let's prove it. Remember that problem that completely stumped our clever wrench? That 3x squared minus 6x plus 2 equals 0? Well, watch this. All we have to do is identify our a, b, and c, plug them into the formula, and just turn the crank. Do the math, and voila, out pop our 2 solutions. The universal key worked perfectly where factorization failed flat. Now that is a powerful tool to have. But wait, there's more. This universal key, it actually has a secret feature built right in. Think of it like a diagnostic tool. It's called the discriminant, and it can tell you a huge secret about the equation before you even finish solving the whole thing. You see that little part of the formula that's tucked away under the square root sign? The b squared minus 4ac part? Yeah, that's the key. We give it its own name, D for discriminant. And this one little piece of the puzzle, this one small calculation, tells a surprisingly big story about the kind of answers we're about to find. Basically, the discriminant tells you the nature of the roots. Now, that's just a mathy way of saying it predicts how many real solutions you're going to get. Are you looking for 2 answers? Just one? Or maybe none at all? The discriminant knows the answer before you do. And the rules are actually super simple. Check it out. If your discriminant D comes out to be a positive number, boom, you know you're going to end up with 2 different real solutions. If D happens to be exactly 0, you'll get exactly 1 real solution. And if D is a negative number, well, you can't take the square root of a negative number, right? Not with real numbers anyway. So that means there are no real solutions. It's that easy. Let's see this in action real quick. Look at the example on the left. We calculate the discriminant, and it equals 1. That's positive, right? So just like the rule says, we know there are going to be 2 distinct real answers. Now look at the one on the right. The discriminant comes out to negative 12, and immediately we can just stop right there. We know without doing any more work that this equation has no real solutions. What a powerful shortcut, huh? Okay, let's just pause for a second and take a look at what we've done. We've just put together this incredible toolbox. A little while ago, we were just looking at a confusing puzzle. Now we have a complete kit to solve it. So here's your 4-step game plan. This is your guide. Step 1, identify the puzzle. Make sure it's actually a quadratic in that ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0 form. Step 2, always try the clever wrench first. Give factorization a shot because it's super fast when it works. Step 3, if that fails, no sweat. Wield the universal key. The quadratic formula will never let you down. And finally, step 4, don't forget to use that secret diagnostic tool, the discriminant, to get a sneak peek at what your answer is going to look like. And really, that's the biggest takeaway here. Something that might have looked really complicated before is now just a straightforward process. You are totally equipped. From puzzle to solution, you have the complete kit. So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Remember, these equations, they aren't just random problems in a textbook. They're actually used to model the world around us. Everything from the arc of a basketball shot to the profits of a business. So now that you have the tools, what kind of puzzles are you going to solve?